This rather desolate park is Theresienwiese, which is host to the Oktoberfest here in Munich every year. When you come at the off season, you would have no idea that this place could be turned into such a spectacle. Statue of Bavaria here all year round, always looking magnificent, but this is a really scruffy, awful park when it's not Oktoberfest season. However, just over into the bottom part of the park, there is something going on every spring here, which probably people don't know too much about. We'll have a look over there in a second. This is the annual Frühlingsfest festival here in Munich, Oktoberfest's little sister. It's spring 2024 and we've headed to the Bavarian capital of Munich to visit the annual Frühlingsfest, a mini version of Oktoberfest, held in the same park as Oktoberfest, called Theresienwiese. Here you can see that during Oktoberfest the park is full with beer tents, stalls and fairground rides, but during Frühlingsfest here the proposition is the same, but it's on a much smaller scale. Frühlingsfest means spring festival, and I've been looking to find a good excuse to come to this festival for 20 years, and now I didn't find a good excuse, but I came anyway. I'm stood in the same spot as I was stood for the opening scene to my Oktoberfest 2023 episode. This is the entrance to Oktoberfest here, but in April this is the entrance to Frühlingsfest, the spring festival. A bit like Oktoberfest, it's a 2-week festival, obviously much earlier in the year and far more scaled back. Now, Frühlingsfest has been going since 1964, whereas Oktoberfest since 1810. But yes, this is a similar sort of concept, but just reduced drastically inside. And you don't get tourists coming from all over the world, where Oktoberfest you get 6-7 million people visiting over 2 weeks. This place here, it's more locals, obviously with the exception of people like me. So what you've got here is 2 main beer tents. You've got the Hippodrom, which used to be at Oktoberfest until a few years ago. Go through that story some other time. And the Festhalle Bayernland. Hippodrom holds about 2,000 people. Festhalle Bayernland maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It's in that ballpark. And then there's a couple of smaller beer gardens. You've got a carousel bar which sells Hofbräu, and there's another beer garden which I think had Hacker-Pschorr on it as well. So yeah, a real locals festival. Probably would never hear too much about this, so hopefully this is new information to a lot of people. It's definitely worth coming. Very similar sort of vibe. The beer tents, it's all as you'd expect, obviously on a smaller scale, but everybody's drinking the 1 litre Moss and having a great time, live music, so definitely worth coming here. So I'll take you through some footage now of the couple of days that we spent exploring Frühlingsfest. Like Oktoberfest, Frühlingsfest shouldn't be mistaken for a beer festival. The 2 main beer tents here certainly are a focal point, but this is also a Volksfest, or People's Festival, and a place for all ages to have a really good time. There are lots of different fairground rides here for all ages and many different food and sweet stalls. People often forget that food is a massive part of these festivals, ranging from simple options such as fries and bratwurst up to more gourmet options like suckling pig. You generally find a lot of fish options at the festivals too. The real positive to festivals such as Oktoberfest and Frühlingsfest is that these days there are plenty of vegetarian and vegan options available too. It used to be that vegetarians were reduced to cheesy pasta-style dishes such as Käsespätzle, and vegans were reduced to jacket potato stalls only, but that's no longer the case. The Hippodrom. So for those who've been to Oktoberfest down the years, the Hippodrom used to be like the first tent that you would come across as you walked into the park through the main gates onto the right hand side, and it had been there I think since since 1902, but it lost its space after 2013. Marshall overtook it because the owner been a bit of a naughty boy with his taxes. But they've had a tent here which actually looks exactly the same to the Oktoberfest one. It's been here since 2010 at the Frühlingsfest, and it looks exactly the same as the Hippodrom from Oktoberfest from the outside. Obviously just a smaller, and it's smaller inside. We were in here a couple of nights ago. Well, actually we were here in the daytime into the evening. Now, we came during the week, so it was actually quite quiet in the day, but it really picked up in the evening, and it had a good party atmosphere, a bit like you would expect to see at Oktoberfest. Much younger crowd, and that's actually the same as our experience in the other main beer tent, which we'll go to in a second. And I think that maybe is because it's during the week, and obviously people are working, and there's not international crowd here. I think if you come here on the weekend, it's probably full gas. In fact, one of the waiters here said to us, on the weekends it's full gas from early in the morning all the way through. So probably a bit of a different experience because it's more of a locals festival rather than an international festival. Younger crowd, but probably wouldn't be the case on the weekend. But I wouldn't like to come here on a weekend because they're smaller. It'd be a nightmare to get in. Like yesterday, it's all right in the daytime, but when it started to get too early, maybe 6-7 o'clock in the evening, you start to get queues of people waiting for a table to become available, which really isn't my cup of tea these days. So, but really worthwhile going in there. Sell Spaten beer, not the Oktoberfest beer. You don't get Oktoberfest beer at Frühlingsfest. It's all their normal Helles type beer, but still great. Well, inside the Hippodrom, and we are drinking Spaten, as you would have got in the Hippodrom tent when it was at Oktoberfest, and its replacement Marshall sells Spaten as well. Difference being here at Frühlingsfest, you don't get the Oktoberfest brew, you get the normal Helles from Spaten, so not super strong, and it's a very different vibe here. We're here on a Monday lunchtime, so it's pretty quiet. And a very different sort of band to what you normally get at the Oktoberfest. So in here, about 2,000 seats, which is like probably a third of the size of what this tent would have been at Oktoberfest, probably about a quarter the size of most of the Oktoberfest tents. Different sort of music at the moment. That may well change. We've not got traditional blast music on part. We've got a bit of folk. It's very relaxed, and it's cheaper than Oktoberfest. I think we're paying about €10 for a litre for a Mars. So a bit different. And beer's nice and cold. We'll have a mooch around and see how the day unfolds. I think if you probably came here on the weekend when everybody's in Munich is off work, I have seen that you have long queues to get in, but right now this is really nice. Not going to get an atmosphere while it's like this, but I bet by tonight it'll be very different. Tonight I think it'll be a different kettle of fish. So anyway, see how we get on.
And indeed, it livened up. during April, the weather in Munich is generally pretty good, and it was glorious while we were there, and therefore Frühlingsfest is a great place to have a good stroll around. And there are 3 beer gardens here as well, including this, the Bierkarussell, a revolving bar selling the wonderful Hofbräu.
The Hacker-Pschorr beer garden, but it's Weissbier. But yeah, space, not a lot in the way of seats, but nice open grounds, and when the weather's lovely like it has been this April, great place to go. Also, if you like Weissbier. There's a beer garden here for Power Armour. Didn't spot this yesterday. That looks like it fits quite a few. It's all outdoors, but it's nice. Yeah, well, there you go. Now that is Festhalle Bayernland. It's the more popular of the tents. Holds up to 5,000 people apparently, but it is big in there compared to the Hippodrom. South Augustiner, beautiful beer. And it's a really lively crowd in there, and as you can see it's only 9 o'clock. There's already people queuing to get in this tent, not masses, but it is only Wednesday morning. So yeah, much bigger tent, different sort of proposition to Hippodrom as well, and that was the same when Hippodrom was at Oktoberfest, because Hippodrom is more about quality. It's more geared towards the sort of the middle classes and maybe the slightly older demographic. Because it's got gourmet foods and things like that. And don't get me wrong, there's a nice menu in here, but this is more what you would get in the majority of beer tents at Oktoberfest. It's your chickens and those type of foods. But it was really good fun in there. The music was great, the atmosphere was great, and like I say, this is your best chance of getting a table because it's bigger. But that said, it's also more popular than the other one from what I've seen at least.
I must warn you that when you come to a Bavarian festival, you will be subjected to Angels by Robbie Williams quite a lot. And this particular band don't know the words. Well, that's the end of our Frühlingsfest visit, so we're off into Munich now. Thanks for watching this episode, and if you want to see similar episodes to this, please click like and subscribe.